Dear student, today we are going to learn the 10th topic of Science 1, that is space missions. Due to development in space technology, space traveling is possible. More than 1,000 artificial satellites have been placed into the orbit around the Earth. The space missions have been undertaken for the close observation of various objects in our solar system. We can classify the space mission into two categories. In one type of mission, the objective is to put the artificial satellite in the orbit around the Earth, which is useful for the research and various other useful applications. In the second type of mission, the objective is to send the spacecraft to outer space for close observation and understanding of the object in solar system. Even we can get information outside the solar system. The first person to go into the space in a spacecraft was Yuri Gagarin of USSR. He orbited the Earth in the year 1961. The first person to step on the moon was Neil Armstrong of USA in 1969. Indian Rakesh Sharma orbited the Earth in the year 1984 in a Russian space aircraft. Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams of Indian origin also participated in the space mission organized by NASA of USA. There are unlimited application of space mission. Today, space technology is a part of development of a nation. So let us learn need and importance of space mission. The world has become a global village due to the space mission. Today, we can contact a person in any part of the world within a second. We can gather information about worldwide event sitting at the home. You all know the importance of internet. Due to internet, every information is available at our fingertips. It has become possible to get advance alert about the natural calamities and we can take proper precautions. During war, it is possible to get information about the action of enemy through aerial surveillance using satellite. It is also possible to explore the fossils, reserves and minerals in the earth. It is all due to communication by artificial satellite. So let us learn about artificial satellite. All of you know Moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. Other planets in the solar system have more than one natural satellite. Similarly, if a man-made object revolves around the Earth or any other planet in a fixed orbit, it is called an artificial satellite. The first artificial satellite, Sputnik, was sent to space by the Soviet Union in 1957. Today, more than 1,000 satellites are orbiting the Earth. The satellite work on solar energy. Therefore, solar photovoltaic panels are attached on both the sides of this satellite like a wing. The instruments are installed in the satellite to receive and transmit the signal from and to the Earth. The satellites have various other type of instruments depending on their functions. The signals are transmitted from the Earth to satellite and from the satellite to the mobile tower, and the mobile towers are also shown. These satellites are sent into the space to perform various functions. Depending on their functions, the satellites are classified as weather satellite, which study and predict weather. Communication satellite establish communication between different locations in the world through the use of specific waves. Broadcast satellite telecast the television program. The navigational satellites fix the location of any place on the Earth's surface in terms of its very precise latitude and longitude. Military satellite collect information for security aspects. Earth observation satellite study of forest, desert, ocean, polar ice on the Earth's surface, exploration and management of natural resources. Observation and guidance in case of natural calamities like flood and earthquake. These satellites are launched into the space by using launching vehicle and they are named as GSLV and PSLV. Indian satellite INSAT and GSAT are launched into the space by using the vehicle GSLV. The satellite IRNSS and IRS are launched into the space by using the launching vehicle PSLV. All artificial satellites do not revolve in a similar orbit around the Earth. The function of the satellite decides the height of the satellite orbit from the Earth's surface. The nature of the orbit is either circular or elliptical, and the orbit is either parallel to the equator or makes some angle with the equator. To put the satellite in its proper orbit at specific height above the Earth's surface, the satellite is taken to that height using satellite launcher. Then the satellite is given a specific velocity, which is known as critical velocity, in a tangential direction to the orbit. The satellite then starts revolving around the Earth. The critical velocity does not depend on the mass of the satellite. As the height of the satellite's orbit from the Earth's surface increases, the critical velocity decreases. Depending on the height of the satellite's orbit above the Earth's surface, the satellite orbits are classified into three types. That is, high Earth orbit, where height from the Earth's surface is more than 35,780 km. Medium Earth orbit, where height above the Earth's surface is 2000 km to 35,780 km. And low Earth orbit, where height above the Earth's surface is 180 km to 2000 km. Now let us learn in detail about high Earth orbit. If the height of the satellite's orbit above the Earth's surface is greater than or equal to 35,780 km, the orbit is called high Earth orbit. The satellites revolving in high Earth orbit will take around 24 hours to complete one revolution. Earth also takes almost 24 hours for one revolution. That means the time of revolution of Earth and the time of revolution of satellite is same, due to which the satellite will appear to be stationary with respect to the Earth. These satellites are revolving in an orbit parallel to the equator. Such satellites are called geosynchronous satellites. As these satellites are stationary with respect to Earth, they can observe a specific portion of the Earth continuously. Therefore, they are used in application like meteorology, that means weather forecast, and for carrying signals for telephones, television, radio, etc. Now, let us learn about the medium Earth orbit. If the height of the satellite orbit above the Earth's surface is in between 2000 km and 37,780 km, the orbits are called medium Earth orbit. The geostationary satellite orbit above the equator. Therefore, they are not useful in the study of polar regions. For this purpose, elliptical medium Earth orbits passing over the polar region are used. These orbits are called polar orbits. In these orbits, the satellite complete one revolution in 2 to 24 hours. Some of these satellites revolve in circular orbit at a height of around 20,200 km above the Earth's surface. Global positioning satellites revolve in such orbits. Now let us learn about low Earth orbits. If the height of the satellite orbit above the Earth's surface is in between 180 km and 2000 km, the orbits are called low orbit. The satellites used for scientific experiment and atmospheric studies revolve in low orbit. Depending on the height of the orbit, they complete one revolution in around 90 minutes. International Space Station and Hubble telescopes are also revolve in low Earth orbits. A group of students from COEP College, Pune made a small satellite and sent it to the space through ISRO in 2016. The name of the satellite is Swayam and it weighs around 1 kg. It is orbiting the Earth at a height of 515 km. The main objective of the satellite was to provide point to point messaging services using a special method. Now, let us learn how to launch the satellite in the space with the help of launching vehicles. Satellite launch vehicles are used to place the satellite in their specific orbits. The functioning of satellite launch vehicle is based on Newton's third law of motion. Specific type of fuels are used in these vehicles. The gas produced due to combustion of this fuel expand due to its high temperature and it is expelled forcefully through the nozzle at the rear side of the launch vehicle. As a reaction of this, a thrust acts on the vehicle which drives the vehicle high into the space. The structure of the launch vehicle is decided by the weight of the satellite and the type of the satellite orbit. The fuel of this vehicle also depend upon these factors. The fuel from the fuel forms a major portion of the total weight of the launch vehicle. To overcome this problem, launch vehicles with more than one stage are used. Due to this, the weight of the vehicle can be reduced step by step after launching. This impart a specific velocity to the vehicle and take it to a certain height. Once the fuel of the first stage is exhausted, the empty fuel tank and the engine are detached from the main body of the vehicle and fall either into the sea or in an unpopulated land. When the fuel in the first stage is exhausted, the fuel in the second stage is ignited. Almost all vehicles are made up of either two or more stages. The structure of the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, that is PSLV, is developed by ISRO of India. Such satellites which are launched into the space are used for making our life more and more enriched. The telescopes which are fixed into the artificial satellites are used to gather the information of various objects in the universe. The spacecraft must escape the Earth gravitational force to travel into the outer space. To achieve this, the initial velocity of moving object must be greater than the escape velocity of the Earth. If the spacecraft is to escape the Earth gravitational force to travel the outer space, it must have minimum velocity of 11.2 km per second. Now let us learn about moon missions. As Moon is the closest astronomical object to Earth, the first space mission to object in the solar system were the mission of the Moon. Luna 2, which is launched in 1959, was the first such craft. After that, up till 1975, 15 spacecraft were made chemical analysis of the Moon. They also measure their density, gravity, and radiations. In 2008, Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, successfully launched Chandrayaan-1 and placed it into the orbit around the moon. It sent useful information to Earth for about a year. The most important discovery made during the mission was the presence of water on the moon's surface. Now let us learn about Mars missions. Next to Moon, the astronomical object nearest to Earth is Mars. Many nations sent spacecraft to the Mars. Mars mission is difficult and almost half the missions were unsuccessful. ISRO's performance in this mission is remarkable. Spacecraft Mangalyaan, made by ISRO using minimum expenses, were launched in November 2013 and was placed in the orbit around the Mars in September 2014. It obtained a very useful information about the surface of the Mars and the atmosphere around it. Now let us learn about India and space technology in detail. India also has made the remarkable progress in the science and technology of launching vehicles. Various types of launching vehicles have been developed to put the satellite having weight up to 2500 kg into all types of orbits. PSLV and GSLV are two important launchers. INSAT and GSAT satellite series is actively working in the field of telecommunication, television broadcasting, and meteorological services. Availability of television, telephone, and internet services all over the nation has been possible due to this satellite only. EduSat satellite in this series is used specially in the field of education. IRS satellite series is working for monitoring and management of natural resources and disaster management. The IRNSS series of satellite is used to locate the positioning of any place on the Earth's surface in terms of its precise longitude and latitude. The satellite launching centers are situated in Thumba, which is at Thiruvananthapuram, Sriharikota, and Chandnipur in Odisha. The space research organizations are Vikram Sarabhai Space Center in Thiruvananthapuram, Satish Dhawan Space Research Center in Sriharikota, and Space Application Center at Ahmedabad. Vikram Sarabhai is considered as the father of the Indian space program. His efforts led to foundation of Physics Research Laboratory at Ahmedabad. Indian government constituted Indian National Committee for Space Research. Under his chairmanship, and first satellite launch center was established at Thumba in 1963. Due to his effort, the first satellite Aryabhatta was launched into the space. He played a very important role in the establishment of ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. Now let us learn about space debris and its management. In addition to artificial satellite, some other objects are also revolving around the Earth. It includes non-functional satellite parts of launcher detached during launching and debris generated due to collision of satellite with other satellite or any other objects in the space. According to one's estimation made in 2016, there are about 2 crore pieces of length more than 1 centimeter revolving around the earth. All this is nothing but the debris in the space. This debris can be harmful to the artificial satellite. It can collide with the satellite or spacecraft and can damage them. This debris is increasing day by day. Soon it will be difficult to launch a new spacecraft. It is therefore very essential to manage the debris.